have a full house up here, so that's great. Thank you. Okay, now we will go on to the Pledge of Allegiance. We have some students that will lead us in the pledge. And to introduce them, we have Miss Solis, who is the assistant principal of Cesar E. Chavez School.
Dr. Loya.
Oh my goodness, I saw you over there.
No worries. Thank you. We do have 5 students here from Loya. We will get started with our oldest students. We have 2 6th graders. We have Damian Ortiz, Jeremiah Diaz. We also have a 4th grader, Josiah Diaz. We have our 1st grader, Catalea Ortiz, as well as one of our TKers, Alina Ramirez.
Please stand. Put your right hand over your heart.
Ready? Begin. I
I
pledge
pledge
allegiance to
to
the
the
flag
flag of
of
the
the
United
United
States
States
of
of
America
America
and
and
to
to
the
the
republic
republic
for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and
with
liberty
liberty and
justice for all.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you, students. We're going to go on to Spotlight, still under opening items. D, this is an opportunity to feature up to a 3-minute presentation on the positive things that are taking place throughout the district. Superintendent, do we have any spotlights?
Yes, we actually have 2 from the district level. I'd like to hand this over to our assistant superintendent of HR. We have 2 recognitions tonight.
Thank you. So yes, today we recognize 2 very special people. First up, Ms. Rosa Guerrero, who has been with Alisal Union School District since 1998, making a lasting impact for the Creekside Elementary community. Their time at one school site shows that their dedication and commitment to our community and to those students really was just a powerful impact overall. And we just want to say thank you so much for your service, and we really appreciate you. And she's in the audience there. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so if you can come up and we'll take photos up in the front.
Would you like to take a photo with the board? Maybe you should, yeah, okay.
All right. And the next person is Miss Martha Marquez. So tonight we also want to recognize the life and service of Miss Martha Marquez. But we are so grateful for the many years of service since 1983 here for Alisal that they dedicated to our students and to really extend our heartfelt condolences to their loved ones. So we invite any family members present to please accept a small token of our appreciation and to also to take a picture with the board if you like as well.
I don't know if she's showing. She had confirmed. Well, we can have her. Yeah, okay.
Thank you. Do any of the board members have spotlights? I have a couple of brief spotlights. I was just very impressed, and I guess I had Chavez on my the Cesar Chavez school. That's where Miss Medina is at, right? And I called the school, and like on the second ring, she answered the phone, and she's the principal. And I thought, wow, because there's some other schools that don't answer their phone. Sorry, but that's the truth. And they have a message that I feel we should all answer the phone, and it says, sorry, we can't answer the phone right now. So, but anyways, that's something else to discuss. And I really thought that was good on her part. And she says we're short-staffed that day, so the principals do those little jobs when, when their schedule also allows them to. So I wanted to give her a shout out for that. And also I wanted to congratulate our student Santiago Aldama, who won the third place in the from Alisal Community School in the Monterey County Spelling Bee. So I think that's great. I'd like to give him a little shout out. And also, there was something that at MLK in the classroom of Angelina Navoa, 50 of her students, I think 50 had perfect attendance, and it's not the first time. So something's going on good in her classroom. So I really appreciate that and wanted to mention that. And also, let me see, there was some other recognitions throughout of our district and the community, but I won't list those. So thank you for that. Okay, so second opportunity for any board members and spotlights? No? Okay, thank you so much. We're going to move on to adoption of the agenda, and this is an action item, so I would need a motion, please.
Motion.
Motion,
Second.
motion from Ms. Perez, second from Mr. Ocampo. Are there any comments, questions, concerns on the agenda? No? Okay, so I'll take a vote now. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Are there any opposed? No, so the motion carries and the vote will be recorded as 5-0 in favor of the motion passing. So we'll go on now into public comment concerning items on the open session agenda and/or non-agenda items. Guidelines, there will be a 2-minute limit for individuals and a 20-minute limit on total public comments. There is no ceding of one's time to other individuals. So we'll go on to A, individuals wishing to address the Board of Trustees on open session agenda items and/or other items may do so at this time, starting at 5:39. Do we have any of the green sheets? Anybody? Okay. Ending time also 5:39. So still under 2, public comment. Item B, association comments. LSL Teachers Association.
There we go. Good evening, Board of Trustees, Cabinet, and the LSL community. Tonight, I would like to talk about our special education program. Currently, we have 29 special day classes from preschool to 6th grade, with students that range in support levels from mild mod to mod severe. According to the Monterey County SELPA guidelines, many of these students' class sizes are not within the guidelines to appropriately provide the level of support and services they require. According to our CBA, our SDC class should have a class size of 12, but what does the Monterey County SELPA guidelines recommend? Here are 2 examples. 2 K-1st grade mild moderate classes, communication and social skills classes, have 16 students in each in the classrooms. The SELPA guidelines for our county has a recommendation of 10 to 12, which is communication, social skills. 1 K-2nd grade mod severe, communication and social skills classes, has 14 students in the classroom. The SELPA guidelines for our county has 2 recommendations that align to the level of support these students need. Both recommendations are 6 to 8 students. These guidelines are there for a reason and should be adhered to as closely as possible for many reasons. Instead of a discussion with the affected staff, as the CBA states, the fix for the overage was to add another staff person temporarily to support the classroom. This is simply a Band-Aid and doesn't really address the issue of too many students in a class that is supposed to have lower class sizes. How are we meeting the needs of our students? How are we providing an adequate level of support for the students' needs? How is this appropriate? Equitable. How many students need to be injured and how is this providing a safe learning environment? In short, we are not, and it is not. This is a profound injustice to the students we are responsible for supporting, and we have an obligation to stand up for their rights. I will share one example that will help you illustrate just how serious the situation is. For confidentiality reasons, I will not go into great detail, but will share that the student has already returned to the classroom. Recently, we had a situation arise in one of our very overcrowded classes that sent a student by ambulance to the hospital for a severe head injury. The student responsible has a history of behavioral problems that had been documented daily by staff. They had also reached out for behavior support for the student, but had not received it. The behavior support needed did not happen until another child was seriously injured and sent to the hospital. This too is unacceptable and can have a long-lasting impact on our students, families, and staff. Thank you.
Thank you. California School Employees Association, Chapter 577. I don't think there's anybody here. And also United Substitute Teachers Union? No? Okay. So we're going to go ahead and continue on here. We're going to have a presentation. And I don't know where in the agenda, maybe after the presentations, we're going to have cake to celebrate our new board member. So don't leave because I think it's a big cake. Okay, and we don't want to eat it all. So just if you can bear with us for a little bit, but we're going to go on to the school presentation for Dr. Oscar F. Loya Elementary School, Principal Roberto Rodriguez.
Good evening, President Gilpas, Board of Trustees, Superintendent Ansel Cabinet. Thank you for having us here today. Again, my name is Roberto Rodriguez. I'm the principal at Aloya Elementary. I was going to say Chavez Aloya. Huh?
Sorry.
When not you? Not yet? Go back. Technology. There we go. All right. So again, my name is Roberto Ruiz. I'm the school principal at Loya. I have with me my assistant superintendent. There you go, right? My assistant principal, Ms. Solis, and our community school coordinator, Ms. Davalo, joined me as well, right? So it will be a collaborative presentation to do that.
That's why we say lero lero.
Well, I can see. Right, so again, thank you again for the opportunity to come and showcase some of what we're working at Loya. Let's begin. So in the first slide, we do have just an overview of our school. We do have right now a total of 564 students. Actually, we have 27 teachers. Excuse the mistake there. We added a recently teacher during the November, December. So we have 27 teachers. We have one instructional coach, one early literacy coach, one reading specialist, one counselor, one psychologist. Out of those 27 teachers, we have 10 that are bilingual teachers, 13 that are our SER or LC teachers, and we have 4 SDC classes. We also have an RSP teacher with a caseload of over 30 students in our caseload. And just see some demographics. We have 47% of our multilingual students, 5.7 free reduced lunch, and 18% on-house students and 50% migrant students. I'll be sharing a little bit of our academic support, giving also a little bit of some of the data that we currently have. Um, I've included our goals for this year, 2025. Um, these goals are not only created by myself, but I do have a great IoT team that's composed of teachers from each grade level, our assistant principal, our coaches, our coordinator. So we looked at data and we came up with these goals for the school year. Again, it's all in collaboration. Like I mentioned, I do have a great team that we work together and plan to better support our students. So our goal for this year, focusing on our iReady, was in the area of reading. We were looking at increasing from 33%, which was our percentage last year, to looking at 45% of our students being at a grade level, performing at grade level in the iReady test in reading. And we identified some of the areas that we're focusing this year's vocabulary and comprehension, as those were areas that were identified last school year where students will have a little bit more difficulty. So we're working on specifically on those areas. And for math, we also focus in math. We also came up with a goal. Again, our goal is to increase from 21% to 35%. And again, we did notice in math, the algebra and algebraic thinking, right, that we needed to focus on that. So some of the focuses that we're looking is, again, to strengthen our tier one instruction. And to do that, we're working with the teacher clarity playbook, which is, again, focusing on the teacher clarity. And we're doing that as a playbook. So we're working with teachers, introducing different modules and getting to for teachers to understand, things that they can do in their classroom to better support their tier one instruction. So we're doing that this school year. We're also looking at refining our teacher collaboration, student data, common format assessments. Again, thanks to the opportunity of coming together through our POCs and collaboration, teachers now have a little bit more time to really work and look at, student data, common format assessments together, collaborate, analyze student work, and then from that, use that data to drive their instruction. One of the things that we continue doing is, in order to address the needs of the students, it's difficult to do it whole group. So we have, embedded a small group instruction in reading. We've done that for a couple of years, but this year we started with also providing time for math. As we know, not only at our site, but district-wide math is an area where our students need a lot of support, right? So this year we implemented that intervention support, again, not only in reading, but also in math. So teachers have designated some time during the day to provide the small group support for students in math, right? So that is new this year. And then again, we continue with our English learners, continue building capacity for our teachers and supporting our students in ELD. Just I have shared some data. The most recent, the one for math is the most recent. This is the last diagnostic they took last week. So we can see there on the reds, students that are on the far below grade level. So we did see an increase or a decrease of 24% of our students. That means moving out of the red or moving out. So that means like 89 students moved out of the lowest achievement level, right? So that's something that, we're happy to see that moving our students out of the red, right? Moving them up toward, grade level. And we also saw a strong movement toward grade level. Students performing one grade level below increase. Again, so this reflects positive academic progress moving closer to grade level. And from our growth in students at near grade level, we did see we went from 4% to 15%, nearly a four-time increase, with students performing on or approaching grade level that increased significantly, right? So overall, we did see a positive shift across all the achievement bands. Okay, so that's in math. I also provided data for the reading, but this is data we're currently this week, our students are taking the iReady reading assessment, so we don't have all the data. So this is just data from our first diagnostic compared to our second diagnostic, which we took at the end of the first trimester. So you can see here, there was some positive growth, 9% percentage point increase for our students at the approaching grade level. And then again, we also did see fewer students in the lowest achievement band, which was a decrease of 14% of our students. So again, the same thing, we are seeing some movement to proficiency from our students. So again, we are seeing a little bit of growth on it. Again, there's always the goal and always the hope that we know where our percentages are higher. So that's what we always strive for, moving more of our students up to the green, at every lesson that we teach. How do we support our students? So I did include a little bit of our English language learners. So just some of the things that we're doing to support our English learners. We are leveling for ELD in first through sixth. That means that teachers at the beginning of the year, they look at our LPAC scores and look at where our students are at. And looking at students, they'll level their students based on their scores. So students during a period of time, they do have to transition to other classrooms to do that. And that, again, that is for the designated ELD time. It's about 40, 45 minutes that they level. We do continue using the LPAC as a practice. The LPAC does provide some practices that we use so the students get familiar with the type of questioning that they're being asked. So that's part also that teachers use to support our students. In TK to second, we thanks to our early literacy coach, she provides 6-step phonics instruction, professional development, and that comes again from our early literacy coach working with our K to second grade teachers. We continue working with the BGLAD and STORM again to develop continue with the strategies from BGLAD and also supporting our new teachers with those programs. And again, those programs are just strategies to support our English learners in ELD and also in writing. And we do have an in-class flexible small group reading, which will also address some of those needs of those English learners through those small group instruction that I mentioned earlier. And we also do have a pull-out intervention program. We do have a couple of intervention teachers that also support our English learners with the area of reading, which is one of the areas that we notice students still having a little difficulty when looking at the LPAC assessment. And we also have the opportunity after school, extended learning for after school with our credentialed teachers. So that is also an opportunity for teachers to work after school with their students, those that they identify who needed more support. And again, we do have also working with our parents. We do always bring our parents to share with them the LPAC, what it is, and the whole reclassification process, so the parents also are aware of what is expected of their students. And I just wanted to share, this year, we were able to reclassify 48 students this year. Those are students that scored a level 4 on the LPAC and also met our reading goals using the iReady assessment, right? So we did break it down by grade level. We had 2 students in TK in kindergarten who were able to reclassify, 7 in first grade, 4 in second, 4 in third grade, 4 in fourth grade, and we did have 18 in fifth grade, which is the goal for our students to reclassify by fifth grade. And then we did have nine in sixth grade. So again, total we had third through sixth grade students, we had 34 students. Out of those 34, 7 of our SDC students were able to reclassify. So that was really good to see that even our SDC students are able to reclassify, right? I know they do take a different test, but again, that's according to their level. And then in K second, we had 14 students. Okay, and the other behavior support, I am gonna pass the mic to, again, Ms. Solis to share. She is supporting our school with the behavior in our PBIS program.
Good evening. So yes, so not only are academics important, but again, it goes back to the whole child and supporting them. And a lot of us, we know that first it's how does a child feel coming to school? So we do start with our PBIS. For our side, it is, of course, like many sites, be respectful, be responsible, be safe. But it also goes more into teaching those characteristic traits to our students. So for example, for being respectful, it's treating others with kindness and consideration, responsibility, taking action of your own responsibilities, completing tasks, and for safety, making good choices. These are character traits that we're instilling in our students. And we share this daily with them every day ourselves. We're out at recess, as well as teachers are reviewing lessons. At the beginning of the year, we have a assembly to showcase this to our students, as well as when we came back from winter break, we had another assembly and we were able to share videos with the students. And it was nice for them to see this visual because sometimes you need to show the kids what it looks like rather than just telling them. And so these are some of our tier supports for our PBIS. So tier one, of course, that's for all of our students. That's supposed to meet the entire population. It's presented to the entire population. This is usually for the 80th percent of the population. And it's things such as classroom supports, as well as, again, instructional in the traits. Earning the Lion Bucks. They take their visits as well, and earning the Lion Bucks, they get a debit card, which then also can be used at our student store or our monthly events. Tier two is a little bit more for our students that maybe the tier one supports isn't working. So then we are looking at the 15% of the population. That's where we're looking at school counseling referrals, check-in, check-outs, connecting with our community schools to see if there's supports that are needed for the family. Because sometimes our students as well, sometimes they're having behavioral issues because there's things going on at home that either we have just been made aware of and we need to support them first in that manner so we can guide them with behavior and academics secondly, as well as our student success team. And then our tier three, that is where we're more intensive. That's our remaining 5% of our population. That's where we've already, tier one, tier two, we need further support. So we're looking at maybe a referral to our district social workers. That can also be a bridge sometimes between our families and the school staff. Referrals to CBH as needed, Sticks and Stones counseling, and also our partnerships with those others of effective school solutions. This is just a little bit of a reflection in our tier one. So we do have a matrix, and this is to go over all the expectations of a school, how we're participating in different areas. So for example, like how do they participate in the cafeteria? What is the expectation in the classroom? And the matrix is more as a guide for our teachers. We wanted to go ahead and simplify that for our students. So the matrix is on the right, every classroom has that, I'm sorry, on the left. On the right, we decided to make that simplified for our students, where we now have posters designated to our students. We're a little more simple with icons that they can identify, such as, restroom expectations, using personal space, taking your time walking. So we've created that for our restrooms. We've created for our cafeteria, even our office. When they come into the office, sometimes they will run, but more it's teaching them to walk in the office. Let's use a calm voice, things of that nature. And so one highlight, we have amazing PBIS committees, our tier one and tier two and three is combined with our ILT. We have monthly events that we have seen a huge success. We usually have, we do provide the first one for all of our students so that can engage them in wanting to come, as well as the end of the year. And throughout the months, it is by purchase of their debit cards. We usually see about 500 to about 530 students on average. And so here are a couple of events we've had. At the beginning of the school year, we had a Lego day where we were utilizing our Legos that were purchased throughout the years from ELOP. We had a Lego day with our students from TK to 6. We also had a hot cocoa and movie during winter break, before winter break. Our most recent one, and the kids had a very good time, was, sorry, was a glow party. So we have glow sticks. We included the glow sticks in our student store, so students could also buy those, and just some pictures there as well.
Sorry. So also looking at how do we support our students with the social emotional piece, right? We did touch a little bit on the tier three support. So this is just some of the supports we have on our side. We have, again, our school counselor, who's a full time there with us. We have our cost and wellness team. That's a group of all the resource staff who come together and look at students and see what supports they need. Right, those students are referred either by teachers, parents, even us administrators will refer students to for additional support. Again, like they mentioned, we have Sticks and Stones. We have a school social worker. We work with MCBH and our ESS school counselors, where those are a team to work to support students with a social emotional. From us as well, it's very important that we create those relationships with students, right? So we try to have daily positive connection with the students. Again, we're out there in the morning to greet the students, to make it a welcoming environment. We have again restore conversation with students so they can reflect, with that, and counselor classroom visits excel, student recognition and celebration. And this year we did start a student leadership club. So we're working with the students to also help us support what things that they're interested in, right? So that we can bring what type of activities. So having that student voice. So this year, thanks to the work from Ms. Solis and one of our teachers, Mr. Otero, they're leading that group of students in coming up with activities to support our students. And one of the things that we do make it a purpose, both Ms. Solis and I, is that we do try to be out there during recess time where so the students, we can build a relationship, but it also has helped with some of the behaviors, right? When they see us outside, kids seem to behave a little bit better, right? So we make that a point to make sure, we're out there. So that's, as you can see, that's why I'm a little bit dark there because of the sun right now. It's a little bit hitting me, right? So I do get a lot of sun outside, right? And then I did, again, just want to thank our community school coordinator, Ms. Davalos. She's doing a great job, along with Ms. Quintero, our PES, our parent advocate. They're doing an awesome job this year. I've seen a lot more parent engagement, parent involvement, a lot thanks to their work, right? So just wanted to give a little bit of time just to share some of the highlights that we've been seeing with our parents and their work. Ms. Davalos?
So we're going to ask that you be as brief as you can, maybe highlight a couple of them instead of all of them. I mean, you have so much to say about your school, you probably could keep us entertained for quite a while, but
Yes,
we need to, we
absolutely.
need to wrap it up so
All
we can
right,
go on
sounds
with our
good.
agenda. Thank
One
you.
of the highlights that I really want to bring up is this work that we've been doing under the FACE umbrella, and it's specifically here at Dr. Oscar Floya, is the work that we've been doing for our McKinney-Vento students and getting them the services that they are entitled to. We have a little bit over 100 students that qualify at our school site for McKinney-Vento, and up to today, we've serviced 76 of them. And so we're very proud of that number, and we're very happy that our families are getting the services that they need, completely confidential, and things that they are going to be able to help not only the student, which is the main focus, but the whole family economically as well. So we're really happy about that, and I hope you guys are able to make it out to the community room and our school site to check out the good work that we're doing. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez, Ms. Solis. We're going to open it up to any questions from the board. I'm going to start here on my left, Mr. Ocampo.
Yeah, I don't think I have any. Well, yeah, I might have a question. I don't.
Questions or comments?
Yeah, I'm curious on the first page, class structure. I don't recall what SEI stands for or ELC stands for. If you could enlighten me.
Structured English immersion, and
Oh.
then our English only classrooms.
Oh, got it. Okay. Thank you so much for that. I think I had another question if I can find it on here. Maybe not. Yeah, maybe not.
We can go on to Ms. Perez and then come back to you, Mr.
Well, let
Ocampo.
me just say that I was glad to see that there is some improvement in the positive growth in math and in reading. I mean, it's nice to see. It's interesting. It looks to me like there was actually more students moving closer to proficiency, if I'm reading this right, in math than there was in reading. Am I reading that right? Or
You are, just because the reading, we are still finishing up the reading data this week. So students, the math is complete from last week.
oh,
Reading is finishing this Friday, so we will have updated data on our own, but this is because it's from diagnostic 1 and 2.
the reading is not
Yes,
complete.
not
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, I mean, it's nice to see that there was that improvement in math. So that's, congratulations on that. So that definitely is a plus. And also, the LPAC continues to improve. So that is also another plus for the school. Tell me, what is leveled ELD instruction in 1st through 6th grade?
So again, like I mentioned earlier, at the beginning of the year, we review the LPAC scores to determine what the students' scores were based on the LPAC. And then as the teachers come together, they identify the students, and then they level the students according to those results. So teachers take the different group of students and they divide them. So they're all mixed and they go to different classroom within the grade level. So that instruction is given to them at the students, level of understanding in English. So
Okay, does that refer to the levels 1, 2, 3, and 4, or?
yes,
Oh, okay, that's
Mhm.
where they are in terms of
yes,
completing the LPAC
yes. Mhm.
requirements. Okay. And I was glad to hear that you had 48 students reclassified, which is good. And anytime I guess you reclassified SDC students, that definitely is a positive. So yeah, looks like a very, very good report that you put together here for us. And I think those were my only comments. So congratulations again on forward movement, and hopefully we can keep that forward movement going. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ocampo.
Thank you, Mr. Ocampo. Trustee Perez?
So for the intervention support for math, is
Mhm.
it for all grades, or are you guys focusing on certain grades?
No, it's all grades,
All grades?
all grade levels. Yes,
K through 6?
yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
But just, you have several high-level percentages and scores, and I love that. Especially like Mr. Ocampo said, the 48 that
Yes.
reclassified, that's awesome.
Mhm. Thank
So
you.
keep up the good work.
Thank you,
Thank
Ms.
you.
Perez.
Thank you, Ms. Perez. Ms. Garcia, please.
Thank you. Oops, sorry. Yeah, I think, I think the other two board members kind of hit it on the nail on the head. I mean, it looks like you're doing an awesome job. Just two quick questions. I know we talked about leveling by, are you leveling by overall score or by one of the 4 domains? Is that
Um,
something you can answer? If not, you can tell me later.
we look at typically at the overall first, and then we try to look at, what I've been working with the staff to really identify the specific needs, right? So then we'll also look at if they're having issues with reading, either writing or speaking or the listening, right? So we want to drill down to what the specific area so we can provide that additional support. So we'll look at overall, and then the teachers will work to see, and then they might group the kids, but later on they might go back and say this student needs to go somewhere else because they're higher or they're lower. So they're constantly moving students around to really support their needs.
Very nice. I
Mhm.
also like that you're bringing back the teacher clarity. I'm a big fan of John
Yes.
Hattie's work, so thank you
Yes.
for doing that because I really appreciate that you're bringing that back.
Thank you.
But other than that, I mean, it sounds like your school's doing such an awesome job. Everything's heading in the right direction.
Thank
So
you.
kudos to all 3 of you.
Yes.
But actually, I just have one more question, real quick, I promise. McKinney-Vento. So how easy is it for an unhoused family to access any kind of McKinney-Vento resources? Is it as easy as going to see somebody and filling out a form and?
That's right. That's
Okay.
right. At the beginning of the school year, part of our enrollment process is to fill out we call it now the blue form. And our blue form is what we're able to determine whether they're able to qualify or not. And so we have one of those sheets for every single student that comes through the doors of our school. Through that form, we're able to place the calls and make appointments, confidential appointments with the families. And I would say 95% of the families that we call and reach out to accept the additional support. We do have a lot of families that want to make sure that it is a confidential service, and so that way we're able to service them in our school site. We go to the LSL Family Resource Center, and that's where we conduct it usually takes about a 30-minute process to go through once a year for that specific student. And if they have transportation issues, we get all of their information over the phone and set an appointment at our community room at our school site. So that's how we are able to service them. And that also entitles them to additional services throughout the school year. Like, so yes, to make that answer shorter, we offer services to anyone that comes through the door, whether it's a dry food bag that we have on hand, or if a student needs a sweater, that we'll have either teachers or the parents come in and stop by, and we'll figure out what we might have. A lot of students come by for books. and they come by for books and swap them out whenever they're ready. So yeah, it's a beautiful thing what we're building.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. Trustee Velasquez?
Mr. Rodriguez, Ms. Sanchez, thank you for your report. It was very nicely done. I was glad to hear that you guys actually spend your time at recess and lunch out with kids. I'm right too. When talking to Dr. Loya, one of the things that he would say that the quality of a administrator is, you know, I know he was a good guy. That's why we named the school after him. But I won't put you on the spot by asking you if you guys spend a lot of time in the classrooms. I'm sure you do, but I hope you're doing it a lot, especially in new teachers, because nothing worse than not vetting a new teacher properly. So, I mean, I'm sure you do it. You're telling us you spend that time in recess out there. I trust you're doing classroom visits as well, too.
Yes, we do. We try to schedule as much time as we can to go in the classrooms. There's some classrooms that we know are doing great, and we always look at other classrooms that might need additional support. We do that so we're kind of target specific classroom.
When you say schedule, that means you let them know in advance you're coming in?
No, just no schedule with
Okay.
assistant
I
personnel.
thought you were letting
No, we
them
want
know.
to,
Yeah.
they want to know, but we want to surprise them, right?
Yeah,
But,
that's
you
the
know,
way to do it. Just walk
yeah.
in whenever you think, yeah.
a little bit about, yeah. But welcome back, Mr. Velasquez. Nice to see you here.
And to second that, I yesterday was in a classroom yesterday supporting our SDC student, just with doing an activity versus with the teacher and the parent. She was engaged, so we try our best to get in there as well.
And I know, it's a busy time in the office, but nothing more important than being known by the kids.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Velasquez. And then I think the board covered the most important part, your very impressive presentation. And actually, I was thinking that Mr. Velasquez was on the board when they named the school Dr. Oscar Loya. I didn't have the honor to meet Dr. Oscar Loya, and I had written down here that I wanted to ask you, because I know with Jesse Sanchez School,
Yes.
they have these big old pictures, I think, in the office and probably throughout the school. And every year they celebrate his birthday. And the principal, Mr. and I've been there several times. He talks about Jesse Sanchez. So the kids know, well, they forget, but they know who he was. And I don't want to put you on the spot, but is there anything that's done there? Is Dr. Loya's picture there? Because I hear he was a great superintendent of this. I was not on the board when they named him that. What is it that you do to
So I
keep
know
it
that
alive?
when I got in, this is, I came into Loya and, there was nothing that was for that, to celebrate that, right? Just like I started here at Sanchez with, with what you mentioned that's happening, right? So we have very little information about, Dr. Loya. I know at point we weren't able to, even have input from or knew who relatives were, right? I think Ms. Melendez did actually find out when the birthday was, because at the time I didn't even know when his birthday was, right, to do that. So I know that we do honor him during our Dia de los Muertos celebration that we do that. So that's something that we do have one of his pictures, so that we always do a Dia de los Muertos altar. So we always honor him during that time. But that is something that, I've been thinking, and we'll continue working with our staff to see how we can honor him
I think
during his
we have a
birthday
good
time.
source now
Yeah.
with Mr. Velasquez, because
Yes.
it'd be good for the students to know, even if it's just for
I
a
agree.
little while, who's
Yes.
Dr.
Yeah.
Loya. And
Yes.
so, thank you. And so we're going to move on here. I appreciate your presentation.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We're going to go on to our next presentation. And this presentation is on the 2025-26 second interim budget report and 2025-26 demographics and enrollment projections. We have with us Associate Superintendent of Business Services, Rais Abasi. Thank you. Ready to go?
Almost there. Clemente is bringing the presentation. This is working? All right, I think we are set to go now. Board President Gilpus, respected trustees, Superintendent Ms. Anzo, Cabinet, and colleagues. Today we are going to present second interim budget revision. All right. So by law, legally speaking, we have to revise our budget after adoption twice every year. The first one is presented to Board of Education in December, and the second one is by March 15th. The second presentation that we're making today, this reflects numbers or our information as of end of January 2026. We have to prepare the report, present that to Board of Education, get the approval, and then send that to County Office of Education. Anytime we revise our budgets, we have to make some assumptions. And the reason is we are looking into future. We're not looking at the past information. We have to make projections. In this area, it's very critical to make some accurate assumptions. We look at enrollment. Currently, our reality is that our enrollment is going down by 3% every year. So we have to keep that in mind. Another factor is the ratio between enrollment and ADA, or average daily attendance. That is at 95.45% at this point. Then we look at funded ADA. There's a difference between ADA and the funded ADA. Funded ADA is what we use to make calculations for our revenues. We are looking at the last 3 years average. Unduplicated count for eligible students is 94.35% as we speak. We are also looking at some planning factors, and these are the factors we use to make calculations. We're going to focus on column D, which is the last column. Enrollment. As of official number for this year, 2025-26, our enrollment is 7,108. That has declined by 198 from previous year. Last year, we had 7,300 and something. Our funded ADA is 6,954, and that's the number we use to make calculations. Unduplicated count, which is very critical for making supplemental concentration calculations, 94.35%. The next big factor, cost of living adjustment. That's how much additional money we get from state of California for making our expenditures. 2.30%. That's not a big number. It's a very small percentage increase for our ongoing expenditures. Some of the highlights that we use, and these are the things that are very critical for our budgeting process. We are showing all the increases and decreases in our expenditures, and that translates into fund balance. We want to assure Board of Education and everyone that we are incorporating step and column increase for every employee who deserves that and who's eligible. We have a multi-year agreement with our negotiating partners. This means that our salaries are settled for 24, 25, 26, and next year, 26, 27. All these factors are taken into consideration for our budgeting process. Some other highlights. We are able to maintain our reserve at 10%, and that reflects requirement from State of California at 3%, but Board of Trustees directed us to maintain additional 7%. We are able to maintain 3% and 7%, altogether 10%. It's also very important to understand how much money we contribute to some of the programs, the big programs that we have in the district. We contribute $19.1 million to special education. This means that our expenditures in special educations are more by 19.1%. Our revenue is not covering that. So we have to contribute to special education. Routine restricted maintenance. That's a program to maintain our facilities. We contribute $6.6 million. That's 3% of our budget. We also contribute $1.8 million to transportation department or transportation services. Altogether, that's about $27 million that goes from unrestricted general fund to restricted programs that we must maintain in the district. Now, after we make all the calculations, we revise revenues and expenditures, we have the new numbers in place. Let's focus on column C, which is the second last column. That's our second interim budget revision. Revenues, $171.6 million. Expenditures, $224.6 million. That leaves a deficit of $53 million. It means our current year revenues are less than expenditures, $53 million. But we had already received some of the money in the previous years, and that shows in the beginning balance. It means we are going to pay for those expenditures, which are more than revenue, from that beginning fund balance, because state gave us that money ahead of time. After taking all that into consideration, our ending fund balance is $56.6 million. From that $56.6 million, we are going to show $22.5 million as our reserve of 10%. So we have more money in fund balance than our required reserve as we speak. Breakdown of restricted and unrestricted general fund. Restricted general fund is those programs which are restricted by nature. They are categorical programs. Example is Title I, ELOP, Title II, Title III, Title IV, Music Arts Block Grant, Learning Coaches. They are all restricted programs. And by definition, they should be self-supporting. They should support, the revenue should support the expenditure. Only exception is special education, routine, restricted maintenance, and transportation. Otherwise, all programs should be self-supporting. Our operating budget is unrestricted general fund, which is column A. That's the column we are going to focus on. Revenue, $92.3 million. Expenditures, $104.3 million. It has a deficit of $12 million because, again, some money we received in the previous year, and this includes some of the one-time expenditures. So that's why we have this deficit. We have a beginning balance of $60.8 million, but when we take deficit into consideration, we have ending balance of $48.8 million. From that, we are going to maintain $22.2 million as reserve, required 10% reserve. So that's pretty good picture actually for current year. Anytime we revise our budget, we are required by law to show multi-year projections. So again, just like current year, we must make assumptions for multi-year projections, how we are going to make calculations of revenues and expenditures. We want to assure that as we speak, we are going to maintain our class sizes as current level. We are not planning on increasing class sizes for this year or the next 2 years. We are going to maintain 10% reserve as required by State of California and the Board of Trustees. We are going to add step and column adjustment to all eligible employees. We also want to point out that we have done the settlement with our bargaining units for 24-25, 25-26, and 26-27. After 26-27, we are going to start negotiations for that fiscal year. This picture is our multi-year projection. The first two columns are current year, but column C is 26, 27, and column D is 27, 28. I would like to focus on the last column, which is 27, 28, because the reason is I want to show how much ending balance we have at the end of third year. Are we still solvent? Are we still able to make our obligations? Are we still going to make our payments? So in the third multi-year projection year, our revenues are projected as 149.1 million, expenditures 160 million. We have a deficit of 10.9 million. Beginning balance is 36 million, and ending balance is 25.1 million. Our required reserve at that point is going to be $16 million. That's a required 10%, 10% reserve. So we have more than the required reserve at the end of third year. So our picture is actually solid picture. Anytime we revise our budget, we show general fund. At the same time, we also like to show some other significant funds. In this picture, we are showing other funds which are really relevant funds. Starting from row number 3, which is building fund, measure A and M. This is used for the construction of LSL Community School and Fremont Elementary School. LSL Community School, not elementary school, community school. We are almost done with the construction, but we are going to use A, which is 2006 measure for maintenance of some of the major projects that we are going to do this coming spring break, and then the summer break. Capital Facilities Fund number 25. That has $3 million that we are going to keep in reserve for any unforeseen events. School Facilities Fund number 35. It has $33.3 million. That money is going to be used for the construction of the warehouse and DO Annex, plus Performing Arts Center at Montebello. And those projects are going to start pretty soon. Capital Facilities Fund 40, that's also used for building of maintenance and facilities. We are going to keep that as a side in case we need anything. Now, moving on to our earlier discussion about our enrollment decline. We use an outside company, an outside demographer, to provide our projections for the next 6 years. But it's also significant to see what happened in the past. So this is 25 years of data and information. The orange color, that shows our 19 years of historical enrollment data. Green bars, or the green numbers, are projections. It's a very interesting picture to see. At the highest point, we had 9,035 students in 2015-16. But going forward, if I look at the very last column, with the very last bar, and the fiscal year, 2031-32, we're projecting 6,463 students. It's a major decline in enrollment. In any planning factor, we have to maintain that picture in mind, that our enrollment is going down. Luckily, our superintendent, Ms. Sanso, is also our historian of the district. She remembers the number of schools we had when we had a high enrollment and low enrollment. Ms. Sanso, would you like to say a few things?
So one of the discussions we had was, I believe it was in 2013 when we built the 12th school. Before that, 2002 was the last school we built, was MLK. So it took several years to build the 12th school in 2013. So that just shows the space that we had for our students. We needed that school. And so now going forward into the future is we do have school 13, 14, 15, possibly in the new development area. And we'll have to just watch our enrollment, because we might not need the schools since we have space for all of our students.
And in the next slide, we are going to show some school side by school side enrollment projections. So the arrow that we show, the red arrow, that shows our current enrollment, 7,108. And that is broken down by school side by school side. Every year we are showing decline. The last two columns show decline in average and percentage. How much it decline we are going to expect or project year by year, school by school. Every school is going to show decline, except for 3 schools that are going to be positive in 2029 and 30. And they are highlighted yellow. Creekside, VRB, and Steinbeck, they are going to increase because the new construction in the CASP area, CASP stands for Central Area Specific Plan. If they start building new housing units, we may get new students from that area. And they are going to be accommodated in these school sites. This is our current projection. Now, next, what we are going to do for this year and next year, we are presenting second interim at this point. For next year, 26, 27, we have already attended a budget workshop because governor presented his next year's budget in the month of January. The numbers are going to be revised in May revision. We are going to attend the presentation from the governor's office and then bring that information back to you. In the month of June, we are going to have 2 meetings. We are going to have public hearing on June 3rd and budget and LCAP adoption, the last meeting of June 24. With that, I'm ready to answer questions and make a recommendation to approve second interim adjustment.
Thank you, Mr. Bossi. Very informative. I'll start with questions from our trustees on my right this time. Mr. Velasquez, do you have any questions, comments?
So the new housing units which are going to be built, when everything is completely done, we are projecting, the city is projecting construction of 3,400 units. And that can provide enough students. But that's going to take very long time. As the economy goes, all those builders, they are going to start slow. They are going to build 100 students in the beginning, 100 units in the beginning. Then they go to 400 units. So that number is going to slowly provide our students. So until we have enough students, that number can be like 500 students, we should not build a new school. Until that time, we should bring those students, we should bus those students to our current facilities, because current facilities, they have enough classrooms, enough space to absorb any enrollment increase.
Mr. Velasquez, is your microphone on? That's okay, thank you.
Was one supposed to offset the other?
So let me see if we can go back to previous slide, Clemente, this slide. So see, if you can see that between 2026-27, which was 6,841 students, to last year, which is 31-32, 6,463. That's a major loss. That's about 400 students.
Okay.
And also, I want to point out that these are our current projections. Things change. If things change, if economy picks up, if they start building more than what we are projecting right now, yes, we can think about a new school, which is going to be school 13. School 14 may take even longer, actually, because East Area Specific Plan, which is Williams Road enrollment growth area or housing area, that's going to take even longer, actually, because city has not even approved the East Area Specific Plan yet. They have approved CASP, which is Central Area Specific Plan. They have approved the roads, they have approved the contractors and the construction of some housing units. Initially, by the way, they have approved only 424 housing units.
Our superintendent has a comment on this.
And I think that slide, Mr. Abbasi, that already includes the projection for the development.
Yes, it does show.
So it includes that. And then I believe if we were to go, we would have to, it's about $60 million to build a new school.
Yes,
And so we would have to ask the community again for a bond.
yes.
And so we want to make sure that we do our homework so the community knows and trusts the investment we'll be making.
And that 60 million does not include the piece of land because we already own piece of land. That's just pure construction cost.
Thank you. Any more?
No,
Thank-
I'm not wondering why we're talking about buying land. Most of the time when you have a developer, they donate the land.
We've been having a hard time with that all over the place. But anyways, thank you for your question and your comment. Ms. Garcia?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Obasi. So, yeah, you know, 2032 is only 6 years away. It
Yes.
sounds like so far away into the future, but it isn't that far. And, you know, I haven't seen any building going up on that side of the world, but I'm sure once everything gets going, we'll see some buildings that way. And maybe we'll be talking something different because everything changes, right? But thank you for this report. I'm curious because I mean, last time we met, we took some money from the VAPA to pay for the STIRS.
Yes.
Where's that on here? Just
So what
question.
it's like our accounting system that we use. We are going to transfer that money to Fund 35 for the construction of Performing Arts Center. I keep forgetting the name. Black box. So the money is going to be transferred to Fund 35 for the construction.
Somewhere along the line, I'll see that.
It already shows that in restricted and unrestricted budgets.
On page 8, is that what I'm looking at?
Let me
Where it says
see.
unrestricted, is that what I'm looking at? Where you're adding the money back?
Let's see. No, it does not show that in this detail, but I have a budget book right here. This budget book, I can
And-
show that to you here.
Okay, so it will be in there somewhere where we put the money back, yes?
Yes.
Okay,
I'll
that's
show
all
that
I'm
to you
after.
during our
Put the
break.
money
She
back.
will look for it.
Well, I mean, it's, you know, if it was earmarked for one thing, and I know it was legal to do that because, it's
No, it's already
strategic. You were
reflected here.
very strategic in how you use the money, but thank you. I
It's
appreciate it.
already, shown here.
Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate, that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Garcia. Ms. Perez? Trustee Perez?
It's a lot of information.
It keeps him busy.
Yes. So we're maintaining for the next 3 years, right?
This year and the next 2 years, yes.
Okay. And then for the CASP, what does the A stand for?
Central Area Specific Plan. So on the other side of Baranda, which does not have any construction, it has all the fields. City has divided that into 2 sections. One section is called CASP, a Central Area Specific Plan, and that's the area on the other side of high school. East Area Specific Plan is along Williams and Baranda.
Yeah, I've seen it. They started construction and then they stopped, right? Next to Alvarez High School?
They are building roads. I mean, I see roads going on right there. But going back in time, they built McKinnon Elementary School, which was connected to Central Area Specific Plan. And their hope was to build housing units on the other side of that McKinnon Elementary School, but that never happened. Right now, McKinnon Elementary School just sits there all by itself, no other construction.
Okay, that's all for me.
Thank you, Trustee Perez. Trustee Ocampo?
Yeah, we certainly are at an all-time low and at an all-time low in our enrollment over like 25 years. I guess we've never been never been this low, you know, at, what is it, about 6,000 something students. Do you have any thoughts about how long before the new housing development significantly starts to impact our enrollment? Do you have any thoughts on that? Any, I don't know, words of wisdom? I don't know, words of insight? I don't know.
So when demographers make projections, they have formulas, they have different factors. They use a terminology is called student generation rate, or SGR. That's a calculation of how many students each housing unit can produce. It is, for example, it can be 0.25. Like every housing unit is going to provide 0.25 students. So if you're building 100 units, it's going to give us 25 students. Currently, city has approved 424 units in the CASP area. So that's about 100 students. That's not enough. But by the time they build 3,400 units, that's going to, SGR predicts that it's going to provide about 500 to 600 students, and that can qualify or that can demand a new school at that time.
We don't know how long that's going to take. You're saying that could take a long time.
That depends on economy, because our major contractors in this area, in this city, they plan something and somehow something happens that they get scared. Like 6 years ago, COVID happened. That scared many people. Before that, 2008-9 recession happened. That scared people. So because they are investing millions and millions and millions of dollars, they want a return on their investment. If the population in the city is declining, as reflected by our enrollment, that scares them, that they can build something and something can happen to negatively impact their investment.
Right. Yeah, it's, I guess, sort of a lot of unknowns in all that. I guess what keeps us going is that our ending fund balance, well, our ending fund balance seems to keep getting smaller year after year. Fortunately, our reserves, I believe, keep growing. So I guess that's a good thing. But there's so many other variables, like, you know, the governor's budget and so on, that it's kind of hard to. I mean, it's like a puzzle that's very difficult to figure out. But I guess that's why we have you, sir.
Luckily, we manage our finances very well. That's the reason we are not projecting any layoffs this year or the next 2 years. I've been watching the news, and lately the news is not good in this county. Almost every school district is actually laying off people. But the things that we have done to keep good fund balances, one example is use of that money. Because that saves general fund money. And general fund is our operating fund. We must have money in that fund. So those are the things that we have done in the past, going back in time. When we had the special COVID money, we used that money for paying some of the things. And that created a very nice fund balance for us. That fund balance was able to actually absorb some of the shocks we had, and also provide very nice, healthy salary increase in the last 4 or 5 years. Those have been very helpful things.
Thank you. Very informative. My fellow board members kind of covered the questions I was going to ask, but I did want to say the 10% reserve that we do have, did I hear you say that equates to 16 million? Or is that a future goal?
That's in the third year, in 27, 28.
Okay, so what is it now? What is 10% of our reserve now in dollars?
Let's see. Clemente, can you?
22.5 million?
22.5 million, yes.
On slide 10, it's the second interim, 22.5 million.
That's great. That's really good to hear. And I too have been saying we're in a good place because we aren't having the layoffs, you know, and I think a lot of that has to do with, you know, even our unions working with us and understanding that, you know, it can ask for all kinds of money. Sooner or later, it's going to affect the district. And we say, so it's been working well for us. And yeah, a lot of the neighboring, I think all of our neighboring districts are laying off and we're not there yet. So thank you for a very, very informative presentation, Mr. Abbasi. And I was going to ask the board, is right now okay time for cake? Is it? Yes. So we're going to take at 7, so we're going to take about 15 minutes or 1 minute less than that. At 7, we'll reconvene to finish our open agenda. And so thank you, board, and we'll celebrate having Mr. Velasquez with us. Thank you. Oh. All righty then. It's 7 and we're going to continue on. We're on item number 4, board member and superintendent reports. I'm going to start on my left this time with trustee Ocampo.
Sorry, oh, nothing to report today.
Thank you. Trustee Perez. Trustee Garcia.
Yes, thank you. I was fortunate enough to attend the California Association of Bilingual Educators this past week. I was glad to see lots of parents there from Alisal and lots of staff members and a lot of connections with we had Miss Oscar Loya's school admin and staff present this evening, and I could totally see there's such a connection with ELD and designated and integrated supports. Everything that he listed on the ELD side was what I learned during all these sessions that I attended. So I was very glad that I was able to attend that. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Velasquez. Well, it's my turn, and then we'll go to Ms. Hans. I'm just very glad that Mr. Velasquez is with us. He brings a lot of experience for years. He kind of, I think back when I started, he was the board president, and he's the only one that interviewed me and gave me a pass to be, it's different now, as you saw the process, but welcome back, and we're very glad to have you here. And on that same note, I wanted to, when we were discussing and doing the interviews of the two candidates, I made an insinuation or a comment that may have led people to believe that Ms. Perez was recruiting the other person, and that's not so. And so I wanted to, since I said that, I wanted to apologize publicly for alluding to that. She did not do that, and I don't know, my excitement or something, I did say that because I saw the tape. So she did not recruit another person, or she just answered questions like we all can. So I wanted to, hopefully you find it in your heart to accept my apology. Yes. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Now I can sleep. Okay, good. So we're gonna go ahead then and go on. Thank you, Ms. Perez. And so now with our superintendent, no reports. Okay. All right, thank you. So we're gonna go on to our consent agenda: approve, ratify contracts, MOUs, agreements, grants, proposals, conferences, workshops, and field trips. This is an action item. I need a motion, please.
So move.
I'll
Whoa.
second.
Oh, so was that Mr. Ocampo?
Yes.
Mr. Ocampo made the first motion. Ms. Garcia made the second. Do any board members have any comments or questions? No? Okay, we'll go ahead and move on to the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? No. Motion carries on a vote of 5-0 in favor of the motion, and that's how that vote will be recorded. So we will move on to number 6, business services. Mhm. 6A, action item, resolution number 2526-14, budgetary increases and transfers at second interim for fiscal year 25-26. This is an action item, and I need a motion, please.
Motion.
Ms. Perez makes the motion.
Second.
Second from Ms. Garcia. Do any of the trustees have comments, concerns, questions? Seeing none, I'll go ahead and call for the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? No. Motion carries, and the vote will be recorded as 5-0 in favor of the motion. B is an action item, 2025-26 second interim budget report. This is a motion, action item. Need a motion, please?
Motion.
Second.
Ms. Perez makes the first motion and Mr. Ocampo the second. Are there any questions, concerns, comments from board members? No? Okay, being that there's none, I'll go ahead and go for the vote, please. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? No opposed, so motion carries 5-0, and vote will be recorded as such in favor of the motion passing 5-0. C, information, first reading resolution number 252615, providing for the issuance and sale of district's general obligation not bonds, I said bonds. Bonds Measure A, election of 2006 Series D in the aggregate principal amount not to exceed $7,700,000. Okay, all is good there. We'll go ahead and move on to now educational services. A, action item, updated 25-26 school plans for student achievement. Can I get a motion?
Motion.
Perez, second. Does anybody want to make a second? Mr. Velasquez, thank you. I think we just wanted to hear your voice. Awesome. Thank you. Okay, so are there comments, concerns?
Yes.
Ms. Garcia, please, you have the floor.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, I've been sitting here for about 6 years now. I was going, wow, it's gone so fast. But every year we get SIPSAs, we get the safety plans put in front of us, and I do look at them. So, please know that we are trying to understand what we're reading before we take a vote. So it's not like, hey, we're not reading them, we don't understand. We do. So there's always a question for me because some of these schools don't have the right composition of school site council. And it's very concerning because I've been sitting here for 6 years and there's been change, there's been little changes, but there's not as many. And I guess that's one good thing because what I'm looking at is, I'm looking at did the school site council at their sites bless this plan, and is everybody on board with it, especially the teacher side? So there's a few schools, even with the updated versions that we got yesterday, on the 9th, that still have the composition of the school site councils wrong. And yeah, I just wanted to make that clarification. I'm hoping that whoever's helping them with the SIPSAs will totally look at that page and call it out because it's important, especially the part with the teacher, because there should be 3 classroom teachers on there. And why 3 classroom teachers? Well, because they're directly responsible for student performance and implementation of this plan. So it can't just be a coach. It has to be 3 teachers, 3 classroom teachers. So you can't put in a coach and say, oh, there you go. So anyway, that's my comment.
Thank you, Ms. Garcia. Mr. Ocampo, do you have any?
No.
Ms. Perez? Mr. Velasquez? Thank you. Mhm.
Trying to work on those plans, it's sometimes difficult because sometimes you don't get the teachers that want to be on there. And that makes it very difficult. And sometimes it's harder to get for the parents. I mean, it's a lot of hours that you do to be on here, and there's no reward for doing it. And some of them, they don't want to do it. I mean, they don't get paid. What we did to try to help them when they got on there, we provided food. That was one way to try to encourage them to be there, and it was good food, so it made them at least a little bit more likely to want to show up. So that might be a way to try to get some teachers there.
Thank you. Can I go? Okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I did have a couple questions. So I know that they're updated because we have additional funds on the SIPSAs, the school plans. And are the additional funds dependent on the enrollment? Is that how, or how is it? Okay. So is it highlighted because I got the list of some of the things, I guess, this chart. So does that mean that if a school gets some of these additional funds, they're going to work on parent involvement, parent ed, or whatever? And are they all going to work on the same thing?
The, the schools?
Mm-hmm.
So no, so they're individual plans. The
Mhm.
money that was received by each school was Title I funding. So they had to go back and present it to teachers, present it to their school site council, and then increase the services in the area, specific areas in their SIPSAs. So I think that's what made it a little confusing. It was, we were using last year's old template where they had created a plan, added this information, and then doc tracking, which is the portal we use that houses the templates. It did not transfer over like when we brought them to in June. So these are June's plans with some new information. Miss Beal is in the audience, and so she's the one supporting the principals now. So she's going to make sure that the makeup, and not just that, but working with doc tracking so that it's not as confusing.
So with the new highlights or the additional funds, the additional services, are these highlighted? Let me, because I know Ms. Garcia did a lot of reading. I'll be honest. I mean, they're long. Aren't they like 100 pages long?
Yes.
Yeah, each. So is there anywhere we could see the highlight? And let's say I wanted to see what are the additional funds to, let's say, Dr. Oscar Loya School. Can I go there and see that, or?
So it would be in the narrative where
Okay.
it's saying we received extra funds in in January of 2026. It has been added to this this action.
Okay, already.
So the principals, they write their explanations in the narratives based on the action.
Okay, thank you. Any more comments or questions from the board members? Okay, so I do have a motion from trustee Perez, a second from trustee Velasquez. I'm gonna go ahead and call for the vote. All those who are in favor, please say aye.
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 Are there any opposed? Motion carries and will be recorded as 5 in favor and none against, in favor of the motion carrying. So we'll go on to item B. Action item 2025-26 comprehensive school safety plans, school vision and goals. May I get a motion, please?
Motion.
Trustee Perez makes the motion. A second. Mr. Velasquez, comments, questions? I'm going to start with Ms. Garcia.
Yeah, I have comments. So great. Um, so we did see the big five all over. Every single one of those plans had the big five. I just didn't see, and I know the staff was trained, big five. I saw all of that. I didn't see, and maybe somebody could help me locate it, but we never practiced with the kids, the lockdown barricade. And I know that's a very touchy subject, but I never saw it anywhere reflected in any of the plans. I know that the teachers and the staff were trained, so that's a great thing. Yeah, and then one of the Sanchez, I think, said something about they have a communication system that's called Bright Arrow, and I had never heard of Bright Arrow, so I'm not really familiar with anything like that. But they have it stated on there that they have a communication system that it's called Bright Arrow, and they had tested it out this year, and I was curious about that. And then also, like, I know Mr. Fausto's not here today, but I didn't see how there was a connection with after school, because I mean, our school doesn't end until after 6:30. Sometimes our kids go home at that time, and I wanted to know, like, who is the commander after school? Like, who is
So I'm still the commander. So I am
campus?
I'm on campus. Well, they have their lead teachers.
So the
But I
head
think
teacher
overall,
probably.
yes, so the lead
Okay.
teacher usually contacts, if the principal or assistant principal are still there, they support, but they usually contact Ms. Angelica Pulido or Mr. Fausto, and then they
Okay.
initiate whatever the
Whatever it is.
emergency is. If it's something, one of the biggest things sometimes we see after school are we need risk screeners for students that might have some kind of, they want to do some kind of self-harm. That's the ones that when we get our incident reports, that's what we have the majority of. And so he's actually hired staff to work, counselors to work after hours for those, in case of that emergency.
Yeah, so like, I mean, sorry, I did, it, having to read the SIPSAs and also having to read the safety plans, like, is a huge endeavor together. Maybe in the future, we do it another time, because I just couldn't do, I mean, I tried my best to
Yeah.
comprehend both of them, and I'm a pretty good reader, right? So, I mean, what I didn't see in the plans or the safety plans is like, okay, so did they include the after school? And I'm thinking, okay, is there a separate thing for the after school, or is it, is it up until, did they add that one piece? Because we can't like, not understand that there's kids here till 6 o'clock, 6:30 every night, and there's at least 100 kids in every site that stay. And I was curious about that.
So I will identify that area if they have added it, but I know that Mr. Fausto has his drills after school. He has safety trainings with his staff during their PDs, and so he's making sure that's conducted. There's times where it's dark, and so we've had requests from him, like additional lighting in certain areas. So that's happening. It's just I don't know if it's reflected in the plan.
And can you get back to me with Bright Arrow? Because I'm really curious about Bright Arrow.
It's our phone system. Mhm. Yes. Yeah. Claudia can explain that communication piece.
Good afternoon, trustees. Claudia Melendez, Public Information Officer. The Bright Arrow system is connected to our website as part of the contract and is used to send all call and all text messages to all our parents as needed. Also, we have a special list for migrant parents or specialized, and also school sites have their own access to their own students to send messages via text, email, and phone calls.
And it's new this year. So right? Or 2
This
years.
is the second year, so yeah.
And our website is what's new
Yeah,
this year.
it's part of the whole packet, the website and the all call system. They come together.
Thank you for that.
I wanted to share, I think, were the trustees all finished? I wanted to share, so there's immigration procedures in these plans. Have we had to use any? Have any of our schools had an experience with immigration? And I'm understanding that the staff has been trained, especially the front office staff, how to handle. In a nutshell, could you tell us what that is?
So we haven't had any emergencies where we have to take action because there's something with immigration going on in one of our schools. One of the things we did with CSEA did request at one of our ALMA meetings, and we want to make sure our staff feels safe and that they know what to do more than anything to keep our families safe. So our social workers went around to each school and they gave the training, the know your rights, what to do in case there's an immigration emergency. And I think together, and knowing that there's also the whole wellness team at the sites, they feel safe and comfortable with that.
Good to know. Thank you. Okay, so if there are any more comments, we have a motion by Trustee Perez, a second by Trustee Velasquez. I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No, so the motion carries 5-0, and that's how that vote will be recorded in favor of the motion passing. Number 8, Human Resources. A, action item, request for a new position, Human Resource Analyst, 1 full-time employee. Motion, please.
So move.
Ocampo.
Second.
Second, Ms. Garcia. Are there any questions, comments, concerns on this position? Mr. Velasquez?
Has everything been done to make sure we actually need that position?
Yes, so this is actually part of more of an analysis that when I came on board a few months ago on updating the proper positions on what the staff is actually doing. A lot of these positions haven't been updated for quite some time.
There was no one, that's not like somebody's job that was eliminated a long time that's coming back, or
No.
it's a totally new position?
Yes.
How are we with the district office administration compared to other schools?
What was the question again?
Like, how are we when it comes to district office administration compared to other schools? I mean, I know some schools are really top heavy, and then, like when we compare ourselves to Salinas City, how are we when it comes to the district office?
I would have to look to see what their makeup is, and then I can send information up in a weekly, our weekly update. Mr. Diaz will also be presenting next month. I think it's on the schedule for April 1st with what he's done. He came in on September, so he'll be reporting what has happened from there to now. And he's updated some stuff, but I'll make sure that we bring you that comparison. Or I'll send it to all the board members for review.
So if I understand this correctly, it's the updating of this position.
So this is a request to have a new position, so it's a new title, right? We
Okay.
have folks in positions that are just not properly aligned to what they're doing. And so they're having a lot of responsibilities that just have not been updated in any job description that we have in HR.
So there's already someone in this position. We're just calling it something different?
No, we don't have someone in this.
This one
position.
is a brand new
This is a
position.
brand new
Oh,
position,
okay.
yes.
All righty. And so, well, that was a good question Mr. Velasquez asked about it. Okay, any other comments? Nope. All righty then. So I have a motion by Mr. Ocampo, a second by Ms. Garcia. I'll go ahead and call for the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? Mr. Velasquez is opposed. Okay, so we have a vote that will be recorded in favor of passing by 4 and then 1 that opposed, 1 nay or no. Human Resources, B, action item, request for 1 paraeducator position, 0.75 FTE. Motion, please.
Motion.
Ms. Perez, make the motion. Second,
I'll second it.
Ms. Garcia. Thank you. Any questions on this position? No? Okay, I'll go ahead and call for the vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No? Okay, so we'll go ahead and record that vote as 5-0 in favor of passing. Motion carries. Public hearing, LaSalle Union School District, AUSD Sunshine Proposal for negotiations with LaSalle Teachers Association, ATA, for the 25-26 school year. So we'll open this at 7:22. And also close at 7:22. Number 9, administrative services. Action item, revised resolution number 2526-13, ordering an election, requesting the county elections department to conduct the election and requesting consolidation of the election. May I have a motion, please?
So move.
Mr. Ocampo, thank you. Second?
I'll second it. Oh, go ahead. Miss-
Garcia.
Ay, okay, fine. Me.
Garcia? Thank you.
Yeah, fight with it.
Okay, any comments on this resolution? Questions? No? All righty, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No, the motion carries and the vote will be recorded as 5-0. No one opposing and 5 yeses. Future agenda items. Listed here, school site presentation, VRB, presentation on student achievement, Director of Leadership Development and Accountability. C, school site presentation, Jesse Sanchez Elementary School, and on April 22nd, and then D, department presentation, Human Resource Update, Assistant Superintendent, Human Resources, Jose Diaz. And then 11 is our future agenda meeting dates, future board meeting dates, April 1st, 22nd, May 13th, and June 3rd. So now we're going into public comments. Individuals wishing to address the Board of Trustees on closed agenda session items may do so at this time, starting at 7:24. Do we have any? No. Okay, and ending at 7:24. 7:24, and we'll adjourn to closed session at 7:24. So we did three things in 1 minute, not bad. So we're gonna take a 10-minute break, as we always do right before we go into our closed session. So we'll meet all board members promptly, please, at 7:34. Thank you. Thank you for being with us. We're good? Okay. We will now reconvene to open session at 8:14 with the following report of closed session. During tonight's closed session, the board adopted 3 resolutions pursuant to Education Code Section 44951 and authorized the district superintendent or her designee to notify 2 principals and 1 vice principal of release and reassignment from their position by a vote of 5-0. Thank you, and good night, everybody. Adjourned at 8:15.